This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The following will contain strong language, adult themes, and Mara. Listener discretion is advised. Let's get it.
Hi, we saying it's Nelle.
Hi guys, what's goody? It's Tammie.
Hey, it's your girl Mara.
And this is the Not Too Much podcast. If you know,
you know.
Hi guys, how are you feeling today? We are doing a morning recording, guys, so please, give us grace in that sense. Mm-hmm. But no, I just wanted to say, obviously, it's a new year. New season for the podcast. We've just celebrated an anniversary recently. So a lot of big changes and big developments going on in our lives. And I feel like one that constantly crops up for me that I always go back and forth on as to like whether I'm actually going to do it is like getting my license.
Vroom, vroom.
Oh, no, you can't catch me. Vroom, vroom. Shout out, Charlie.
Hey.
XEX.
Remember when they named that baby on freaking EastEnders? Like, I saw, like, a moment, apparently last year, it was supposed to be a thing in the writer's room, like, the baby on the show, like, they said, oh, it's called Charlie, and they were like, oh, Charlie isn't, like, for something, and they were like, no, Charlie isn't XEX.
LOL. She did change the pop game, though. She has impact.
But, back on the vroom vroom topic, I feel like I wanted to ask you guys, like, are you planning on getting your license in 2024? Is that a resolution?
Is that
deep? Is that you talking to me? Is that deep?
Yeah, I'm getting my license.
Is that Nikki?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I thought beep beep, I was like, beep beep. Is that my Bessie and a Tessie?
I was thinking of
Fairs.
Oh no, I was thinking of something else.
Oh, well, I've got my driving
no, beep beep. Who got the keys to the Jeep? Vroom.
Oh,
I've been trying to get that going.
It's a regular line, you know.
I've been trying to get that going for the longest time that I've been friends with them, but they keep rejecting it at every course. But shout out Missy. Yeah.
Wow. We got to speak for this because I got my driving lesson in like.
I know.
She's got her driving lesson.
Yeah. How timely, Mara.
I know. I'm gonna get my license.
Period.
By the time this season drops.
Potentially.
Road trip.
Where we going?
Road trip.
Road trip.
I don't know, but you're picking us up.
Oh,
exactly.
Damn.
You got gas money?
I'll come to you.
You got gas money?
Do you?
We can chip in.
Oh
dear.
That's cute.
In this cozy lives.
Oh.
Have you not seen the petrol?
Well, she's going to be paying car insurance and all that.
Oh my god, sorry. I would just get the car. You know me why I'm getting a car, realistically.
But you want to just rent it?
No.
Can you do that?
Oh, she's a bit young, aren't you?
You can...
Huh?
To rent a car.
You can rent... no, I think you can rent a car, but... No,
I'd rather have my own car.
I feel like, yeah.
I gotta go around. My city's a very drivable city. You can't walk anywhere.
That's also a thing, like...
True, yeah.
Unless you live in the city centre, but who can afford that?
Because we have to talk about, like... Do you feel like amongst our age group that there is a pressure to get your license right now or to be like a driver?
Yeah, because at the end of each year, they're like, who's gotten their license?
I know. It's really embarrassing. I haven't been able to say I have. But like,
well, we still haven't.
No, but I feel like we would have been more progressed if we weren't of the COVID age.
Yeah, because that's when everyone...
17, 16.
Yeah, that's when everyone's starting to drive.
I might have to hop off on that. Like, I think...
Hop.
Alright.
Sorry.
Alright. No, I think for me, like, I can resonate with, at least from an outside perspective, like, in terms of in sixth form, it was very much, like, a rite of passage for you to, like, be taking your driving lessons during, like, your study periods and your lunch. And then also, like, when you get your license, like, being like, oh my, it's the same picture of the people posting their driving test certificate on
that would be me.
And then also, like, obviously people saying, like, oh, I've got my car and they're driving and, and stuff like that. Like, I'm very much aware of the driving culture and expectations and still that 16, 17, 18 gap. But I think I've always just been a person that I was like, I know when I feel the urge to do something and when I don't. This is just a personal thing, obviously. I am so comfortable mooching off my friends' cars. Shout out to you, man. And I don't think
Shout out.
I don't think I like, I felt the desire yet outside of just wanting to like big speakers to blast my music.
Fair, that is also an asset.
Yeah, I think personally in my first year of uni, I was pretty on it. Before uni, I did my practical, got pretty high on that if I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, your theory?
Yeah. No, my theory, yeah, not my practical.
I was about to say, girl, if you're practical, you should be out there right now.
But then, to be fair, one, it got expensive.
Yeah.
Two, I was starting to mediate because I'm at uni in Cardiff, but then I have to go back home. Where do I learn to drive?
Exactly.
And then after a while, I was like, it's not a priority because you know how you said your city's not walkable.
Your city's not as drivable. Well, actually, no. Like
it's drivable, but it's not cheap.
That's the thing. Especially if you get caught in a box junction or if you get a charge.
This is the thing. Where I live now, there are ULEZ charges. So I'm in a ULEZ zone. And obviously, realistically, nobody's driving into central London for congestion charge. Mm-hmm. It's too much. It's too much.
Too much?
It's too much. So I do, but what I will say is I'm not going to be driving before graduation.
But you don't know what could happen
after.
I feel like for me, like, I'm not, because, I've been on my year abroad. I'm about to go into my final year, like, after that, like, and even in terms of my future, like, goals and plans for next steps of education, I don't know where I could be necessarily placed. Would love to be close to home, but don't know where I'm necessarily going to be based, so I can't, like, invest in that in a sense, because I've seen what it's like for people who start driving, something happens in their life, they can't read, like doing the lessons, I mean, and then they have to put that to the side on the back burner, then they have to come back to it, then they put it on the back burner again, like the amount of the cost that you incur from doing that, I think that can be slightly off-putting to me, because driving lessons aren't cheap.
How much are the average lessons, bro?
£30 an hour, £33 an hour.
Like, and me, like, I would like a good chit chat. I would like to get myself a little bit acclimated. But we don't have that. I'll be staring at the clock. I'll be like, damn, like, I'll be just like, I'm absolutely put in reverse. Like, I need to be like I know they're obviously trained to make sure that it's as calm a space as you can, just to be level-headed. But you know me, like, I have my own way of doing that. But I also think I'm too anxious on the road as a passenger right now to be a driver.
I'm like, vroom, vroom, bitch. I'm not anxious enough.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I should be.
Are we getting in her car?
Well, apparently so.
We might have to go on the transport.
I'm just very talkative. Like, even to my driving instructor, I'm always talking. I talk for like 2 hours straight. You must think, for fuck's sake, get out. But no, he'd be talking back actually, and he's French.
Is he French?
Bonjour.
Is he coming out? He's coming around here? I'll say hello.
What, you just gonna pop out?
Bonjour. Yeah.
No, it's really good. But it's expensive. Like literally, it's expensive as hell. It is how do I say that word? Anxiety inducing. Sometimes, because it's like, damn, no one has patience when you're alone on the road, you know.
That's the thing. I'm not necessarily always concerned about myself. It's the other drivers in the place, and these men have their licenses.
No
way. But no, the thing,
like, I'm sorry, sarcasm aside, nah.
But that's the thing. See, I'm like, I have all the confidence in myself because I'm like, you people got your licenses, actually can't drive, so I should be fucking fine.
Do you know what? I do have an issue.
What's your issue?
A slight issue.
Get your
When
issue.
people indicate, like, as a pedestrian, like, no, but being serious, people don't indicate anymore. You're turning left, but you've acted as if you're going straight, and now you're beeping at me. Come on now, like, let's indicate 2024.
I'm happy you used the word indicate because I'm having to transition out of the Nigerian word for indicate, which is a made up word, trafficate. I thought trafficate was a word for I thought trafficate was the word for the longest time. I was like, why are we not trafficating here? And they said
no, but like, it's like, okay, you know how there are certain things like your family like calls, like, for example, this.
Oh.
I know that people call this like a dressing gown.
Yeah.
It's
or whatever.
They call it that.
Yeah, or a robe.
Or a robe.
Yeah, robe. Why are you laughing?
My family calls
So
it
odd.
a morning jacket. Like, and so I remember one time I was at school in secondary, and I think I just said morning jacket, like, you know, just as a normal. And everyone went, what? And I think, I've made a mistake here.
It's not even just that, it's also pronunciation. Like, you're at home all the time, and like, there's a particular way, like, I'll say, like, I've had to, I can't believe they've pushed me out of it, but there's a way that I used to say, like, onions and pepper. And then when I'll be in school, I remember asking someone for pepper. And then the way I said it, they all looked at me like...
How do you say it?
How'd you say it?
What's another way to say it?
It's just a pepper. Like, it's just like...
Oh,
it's,
pepper.
Yeah,
Okay,
like...
Yeah.
And then they were just like... And I was like...
Yeah, because you grow up with certain words.
Yeah.
Especially if you're from an ethnic household.
Yeah. Is that what we're calling it?
Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. My enunciation in the
Culture.
mornings is weird. But you just have different ways of saying things.
Yeah. But I just find it funny. I'm happy I learned that now before. Because when I tell you, I feel like some people I've run into, at least at my age, have at least, like, you know, done their theory or, you know, like, taken a couple driving lessons. Like, I haven't ever opened up the book.
Oh.
I don't know what...
really?
I don't know... Yeah. Like, when
damn.
when I say I've not even, like, come into contact with it, I barely know what it looks like. I think it's yellow and black. Like, I don't know.
Well, I use the app.
You can use the app.
You know, like, see, I don't even know that. So,
Oh.
that's when I say I'm so far removed from driving.
I just hate public transport. I don't like to rely on it, like, realistically.
I can understand that. I think I've grown up with just the instinctive of, like, oh, I'm going to hop on the bus, or I'm going to hop on the train, or this and that.
Here's the issue, though. I used to be so okay with that because transport used to be reliable. Like, in terms of where I live, in terms of local transport, buses, like the tube and everything. But, like, just trains, like long-haul trains. Like
Long-haul trains are the worst.
Like, how am I shelling out, like, £100 one way? Bro, I tried
with
to
your
go
16 to 25 rail card.
With the 1625 rail card and that weird split save thing that they have.
Yeah. I need to get into the system because I really want to know what that thing is
split
doing.
save?
How much am I actually saving on split save?
No, but we're currently recording, it's the 25th of Jan. Yeah. Right? They're having some, like, Great British Railway sale at the moment.
Really?
I'm trying to get into London today, actually. I looked at it. It said £45.
45.
That was the sale. Guess how
sale?
much money came off it? £1.60. So this is the great sale.
No, and I've got to go to Birmingham soon. Will it still be on this week?
Yeah, I think it's on this week. Yeah,
You better book your ticket now.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, like, I hate public transport. It just pisses me off. And it's like, you'll cash out money, and then halfway through the journey, this actually happens to me, they'll be like, oh, sorry, you have to get off the train. It's stopped. As in, there's not enough staff. Do you not know that before we fucking start the journey?
I do think...
I was stuck in Shrewsbury. Where the hell is Shrewsbury?
I was stuck in Shrewsbury when I had to come to your birthday.
I was stuck there when I had to go to Manchester.
Manny?
Yeah?
You went up north?
To go to Birmingham from Cardiff as well. Got stuck in Shrewsbury.
Manny? They took you all the way up north just to come back down?
No, I needed to go to Manchester.
Oh.
No, I needed to go to Manchester, and like there was a direct train from Cardiff, which is rare. So I was like, cool, calm. Wasn't too well. Actually, was a lot of money, but it was like a direct train instead, or otherwise I'd have to go all back home and then change at home and go to Manny from there. I was like, I'd rather just go one straight journey. End up in Shrewsbury.
That's what I hate about certain trains. When I see on my Trainline app that the train is going to be like 4 changes, I said, what's the point? I might as well walk.
I didn't even need to change. It was direct.
I know, but that's something I hate with transport. I might as well walk. 4 changes.
Well, I guess that's why we talked about driving.
Yeah.
It won't be 2024. I will say a ballpark year for me to drive, 2028.
Jesus.
Sorry. No, she's going to be in uni.
That's so disrespectful.
No.
You're going to be in the education system for a bit. So
yeah, I got some things to do.
I think for me, by the end of 2025, I feel like I would be driving.
Either way,
Well, I'll have
you
my
two
license.
gonna be
I don't
driving.
think I'll
I'll be
have a car.
calm. Just add that to the bank
I
for
don't
people
think
like
I'll
a
have a
mooch.
car though. I think I'll get my license though. But I
That's
won't buy
important.
Then
a
I'll
car.
just jump on your back and then we'll go somewhere.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
That was actually giving me a piggyback before. That was actually very stressful.
Yeah. I've given you a piggy bank as well.
Yeah.
Given a lot of piggybacks in the area.
Welcome back, guys. So hopefully you've been enjoying the episode so far, and if you've been enjoying it, it's only right that you follow us on our social media accounts. Come on now, don't be stingy. That means following us on Instagram at the NTM Pod and following us on TikTok at the NTM Podcast. But as well as this, you need to be listening to us on your stream platform of preferred choice and giving us a 5-star review. Come on, get your girls up there. Anyway, guys, on with the show.
Okay guys, so we are heading into topic 2. However, when recording this episode, I accidentally forgot to plug the mixer in. So the audio is a bit scatty because you can hear that we're all from different distances. But we still wanted you guys to hear the conversation because, I don't know, it was really insightful, I think, for all three of us. So just a little disclaimer, but enjoy.
Alright guys, we're back. Listen. I know we were just talking before about like driving and stuff like that, and I think it's definitely easier when you feel like, listen, if you have the ability to drive, the finances, the resources, all of that, you go through it, obviously. And I feel like this definitely links to our next topic.
Oh.
About potential. Mara has the potential to drive, and she's gonna drive.
Right, okay. I was like, how's she
gonna?
How's she gonna link this one?
Restart, because I actually don't know what I'm doing today.
I'm gonna let this roll. I'm gonna let this roll.
Basically,
Do you know what we go through, yeah? Let me just say this, because I want it to be as natural as possible. Every time we bring you guys topics, we have to put a person in charge of each episode, introducing it, giving you guys a little substance, a little intro, a little segue. Alright? To go from what we just talked about into this next topic is Wahala for me. Okay? I was gonna get to it, yeah. I didn't have time for the segue.
Just say the question.
Yeah. Is wasting your potential as common as the people like to say?
Ooh.
No, thank you. These are my real friends, yeah, because they saw me struggle but still backed me up towards the end. Okay.
no, because you tried.
Yeah, and it was a good attempt.
It's a good attempt. It's not my strongest, but you know. Okay. But yeah, the question's been out there.
Oh,
Get to
sorry.
answering.
Oh, why not me?
Well, I assumed it was you.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Take the stage.
Yes and no though.
Because
Say.
what does actually...
Oh, I'm now today.
Oh, no binaries.
Yeah.
So, because let's actually get to like more of like a definition around it first.
Wow, this is where my first thing was gonna be.
Yeah, girl, you on the fire and
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, man.
Go
No,
ahead.
'cause I was like, how are we defining potential? Because surely that's different.
I was more so thinking like how we, because it's the phrase like wasting your potential. So like how are we defining like, for someone to say wasting your potential, what do you think that means to you?
Well, I'm confused because it literally is defined differently for each person. Every person's potential is not the same as another person's.
Yeah.
Like, how can you say that they're wasting it?
It's
Because
subjective.
potential, no, is like existing impossibility.
A potential, I think people mean success. No?
I do think
That tends to be the direct
Yeah.
correlation of it.
people have their own, because this is very typical in society, isn't it? Like people have their own notions of success.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have a certain ability or potential, I don't think people are thinking about it in the lane of like, oh, what you can do with that ability or that talent that you may have. I think they're thinking it in such a generalistic sense of like, oh, how can you be, like you said, successful? How can you attach potential to success? Rather than how can you grow that potential, grow that talent, grow whatever you're talking about. No?
I would like to say this, right? And I think I would argue yes and no. The reason why I said yes and no is if I answer the question. I think wasting your potential is as common as people say it is. but not in the way, as we're talking about success, it is presented. I think when I think of potential, I think the potential to be you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people correlate that to worldly successes, whether that's more money, career gains, a family, stardom, different things like that. I think that is where a lot of people say, you're wasting your potential. You could be doing, you could use your voice to do this, or you could use your brain to do this. You're wasting your potential. And I think that is a fair statement to make, especially if you are, you know,
rooting for a person.
Do you know what I mean?
It depends where it comes from, the place.
However, I think a lot of people, I think the majority of people are wasting their potential to be more like themselves.
Yeah, because that should be the ultimate goal, no? Like, in terms of you growing as a person and being able to shape the individual that you are, or growing into that in that sense. Like, it's about being more you, not being more that thing.
Yeah, or reaching anything. I don't think potential is anything to aspire to. It's what you are.
Yeah, but I feel like you said, the way it's presented, I believe, in society, isn't that. We've come to that conclusion.
When it comes to that kind of mindset, in terms of if you're thinking about the world and what you can physically gain, that is too subjective for it to be common.
That's what I was saying. No. In a way, also, because we've identified that the worldview of like potential is like success and aspiring to be and like a goal, then I think sometimes the phrase "wasting your potential" can be a little bit manipulative. Because you're deemed someone as wasting their potential because they don't fall in line with
that's
your
the thing.
beliefs.
It sounds like something you impose on someone. Because you can tell, you know something, I've watched videos where it's like someone can bring to your attention, and this really does come down to the person who is telling you as well, you're wasting your potential. Like, someone who truly just wants that's such a weird like phrase to say sometimes, but like wants the best for you in a way, who wants you to like bet more on yourself, or like give yourself more space to consider yourself. Like, that's like, that can be in a sense of like saying like, oh, you're like bring to your attention, oh, you're good at this thing, or you like, you know, you seem to have an interest for this thing, maybe consider how you flesh it out, or whatever it is like that. But there's a difference between that and what you're saying in the sense of like, oh, like, I believe you can do that and you should do that, and it's like the shoulds. It's just like it's like almost like obligatory to do that.
Yeah, that's what the phrase sometimes carries, and I like, and at the same time, I do understand what you mean, because it almost is, to answer the question, yes, in a way, because it is easier for outside people to see a person be less of themselves to appease a certain goal. Like, it's easier for an outside person to see that than the person themselves.
Yeah.
So sometimes wasting your potential does come across as it's just advice.
Yeah.
Other times it's like,
there's a difference between advice and an imposition, because the thing is like, I can tell when I look within myself and I'm like, listen, I'm not pushing myself as hard as I can be, or maybe I'm overly pushing myself. Like, I can reckon with that within myself, because I will hold that space. If someone's gonna tell me something and it's like almost like that is bond, like that's law, I'm like, no.
But I think, and this is just a different angle in terms of the way that I think about it.
yeah.
I think the term becomes more frequent the more appreciated you are. And I see it personally in my own life, but also when I look at celebrity and the people in the public eye, the more you do, the more people say you're wasting your potential.
You know what I mean?
You can't ever live up to potential. And that's where I have a kind of iffy feeling about the phrase wasting your potential, because potential is something that you grow into. You can't waste it. It's not something that can be kind of put aside and like left to rot.
And
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not wasted.
And may I add, like, it's also not something, in my opinion, that can be so easily determined. Like, you don't even know what today holds from what tomorrow holds and stuff like that. So I don't know how, like for example, like, I can say that in one of my interests in terms of, like, music and creativity and stuff like that, that has been a commonality and a stronghold in my life. But in terms of the way that I can see it manifesting, or the potential that has, changes from day to day and from period to period, that it cannot be fully determined all the time what that potential is going to be and what it can lead to. So when someone says to me, like, oh, you're wasting your potential, and, like, you've made such a good point in terms of, like, I guess it's weird, it's appreciation shown in a way that feels quite overwhelming and suffocating. But when you're, like, greatly appreciated for something, they're like, oh, you can do this and you can do that. I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna even...
Have you even sat down to appreciate what you are in?
You know?
I think so.
We move too fast.
So much of our culture is on to the next. And with potential, is about sitting in what's now.
Reflection.
When you achieve something, that is your potential.
Yeah.
And you have more of it. You can always grab more, but you've met it. Like, sit in it, enjoy it, enjoy what your current potential is now. I think because potential for us, even in the English language, it alludes to the future.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know how in certain words you can, like, see the imagery in it?
Yeah.
When I think of potential, I think of around me, not like in front of me.
Yeah. Because it's all... Do you know what I think of it? In my mind, when I think of potential and possibility, I think of space. I feel like it's not something like... It's like almost like it's boundless. Like, it can just be like... Things are like just like orbiting around me and stuff like that. Like you said, the around thing, and I can just grab stuff, and, you know, it's not like, oh my god, like the stuff is like on me already. You know what I mean?
I think I think the imagery that, like, the world portrays potential as is like an accumulation of things, and so it's like greed, and like trying to fill yourself up with as much stuff as possible, you know. But realistically, it's not about that, and that's why I think when people say wasted potential, sometimes I'm like,
it's annoying sometimes.
Can you wait?
If you hear it repeatedly, like, it's like you take the joy out of potential. Like, it is meant to be something like that feels somewhat freeing, and almost that you can do whatever you want with it. Like, you can just come into it as your own. Like, to almost feel like that is assigned to you takes away the premise of potential. No.
Yeah, it feels trapping. That's why. Yeah.
But I do think still, while saying that, I can recognise in individuals where it's not... I've never used the phrase to anyone of like, oh, you're wasting your potential. I don't think that's just something in my natural verbiage to say to someone. But I do think the parts of the sentiment that I can get with, I've seen people where I'm like something where I'm like, you've clearly verbalized to me that you want something or you're trying something, and then you're kind of like hesitant or stepping back from it. I'm like, just go, press play, do your thing.
My thing is, I don't necessarily think because you know me, I don't like binaries.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that the phrase is a bad thing as long as you recognise what the phrase is.
Yeah.
When I say you're wasting your potential, what I am saying to you is you're wasting what I think you can do. Point blank.
Yeah.
I think that I want this for you, and I think you should do this, and so I think you're wasting that. That's what it is. And I think if people become more clear and comfortable of what they are saying, and that it's a very selfish thing to say, because even though I know that a lot of people say that out of appreciation, love in some cases, sometimes it's hate though, right? I know a lot of people say that, but the clearer you are about your position in certain like verbiage, then it's easier to understand why you say it. Because a lot of the time when you're saying to someone you're wasting your potential, it really is a projection on what you feel about your life.
That's the thing. Like, it's like, you've got to be careful when you're saying to someone you're wasting your potential. You're not just almost using them as like a vessel to live vicariously through. Because there are times where, and I think also to think in a fairly critical sense, I think culturally, coming from the backgrounds that I have and how I've been brought up, there is a lot of pressure for young people like myself in this country to feel like, okay, you have to almost do so much to exceed the expectations and the potentials put on you by family and people who have come to this country and had dreams for their kids, and then almost see like a level of potential for them, which is kind of a bit of projection, but you can't, I don't fault them for it. I'm just, you know, obviously it's an observation. So it's like you almost fall into that trap of being like, okay, the pressure fulfilling that potential, but that potential doesn't even feel like it's mine. That's also a thing. You know, you want to make sure your potential is your own, to reserve a level of autonomy, not to feel like it's someone else's. And, you know, when some people say it, like, it comes from a good place because you want to see the people you love and appreciate, you know, succeed and whatever that means, but you also have to just let them be them.
I agree. If everybody's more conscious of what the phrase means, then it actually is beneficial for both the person saying it and the person who's being said to. Because the person who's saying it, maybe you can start questioning why you said it in the first place. And if that's a reflection of what you believe and it's almost projection, then that actually does direct you into what you might want to do in your life. Plus the person who it's being said to, it's almost like, well, you don't need to internalize that because you recognize that that's somebody else's dream. You don't have to then internalize that and then just run with it. I think it's beneficial for both parties to actually understand what that means instead of what it's made out to mean. Yeah, because communication is key, because there's a lot of like, take what applies and what doesn't, leave it.
But sorry, a thought just kind of ran across my mind, in the sense of, because we're talking about, is it as common?
Yeah, that's
as people say it is, right? I recognize, and I'm not saying this in a pretentious way, guys, I promise, but I have been in high achieving spaces my entire life.
Yeah.
And that is, again, a form of, I think, cultural grooming of me needing to be in those high performing places. But it means that we are always constantly discussing potential.
Yeah.
I don't know what the discussion of potential sounds like for someone who is constantly underappreciated.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
It's a limited view.
My view comes from people who expectations are always high. Look, high sets in school, potential was always talked about it. When you're doing your grade exams for music, potential is always talked about it. When you do those extra, but I've never been in a space where people don't think I will do well.
That's the thing.
So
we just had a very slightly ignorant conversation.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When I realized that I had to go, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I've only been in spaces, friendship wise, family wise. I've orbited people who will always be seen as having potential.
We gravitate to people like that. Because when I think about just going on that, I do think natural biases start to come into play. Like in terms of affinity, you kind of almost find, like when at times I've talked about, like, you know, like, as well as personally what I admire about you guys individually, I think I've probably mentioned many times about how, like, I love how motivated and focused and, like, ambitious you guys are, and that plays into the conversation of potential. And then I realise, like, in terms of my friendships across the board, like, I tend to gravitate and have an affinity with people in that same mindset. So you're right to bring that up in terms of, like, it's a view that I have not been exposed to.
That is true, because like when nobody expects anything of you, then what does potential mean to you?
Like,
do they think you're wasting anything? Because they think you don't have it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's really true, like, even in, like, and again, try not to sound pretentious or anything, like it's like the general rhetoric of, like, you have such a bright future, you've got so much ahead of you, we can't see to it. I can probably pick up like 50 million birthday cards where it has like the same message imprinted on it every single time, like referencing like success and all of these things. Like it's you know, it's still suffocating though. Like that's something to bring up.
That's the thing. I'm not saying that I've never been, look, I'm a black girl. Like, I have been underappreciated. There are certain people that were preying on my downfall, but it's only because I feel as though, again, this come across really pretentious, but I feel as though my success has always been clear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real now. Everyone has seen that I'm a bright girl. I'm gonna go on to do, at least in the kind of traditional capitalist sense, I'm gonna go to uni. I don't think it was a question on anybody else's mind. Did people want me to go to uni though? Question. My potential has never been questioned. People just didn't want me to reach it. Again, I don't know if that is as common an experience.
Yeah.
Because once again, I've only gravitated towards people who have, naturally, because we can bond over that.
Yeah.
Who've
sharing the struggle. Sharing the experiences.
I think the only person who's like really like questioned my potential very hard is myself.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's a lot more like, I'll be more hypercritical of my own self and where I fall in this place of my own potential or my own, abilities rather than anyone else.
But even then, that is a product of being in certain spaces.
Yeah.
What if I was never in those spaces? Would I have?
There's a lot of nuance to the things that we're talking about, and the thing is, like, you have to understand, like, there's a lot of commonalities in our experiences, and also, like, in terms of the aspect of us being, women, black women at that as well. Like, we share in those aspects of our identity. A lot of the time, our views, whilst they're going to be nuanced depending on, like, our upbringings and, like, where we've come from and stuff like that, there are going to be a lot of those points that come together. Like, we've talked so much about kind of black excellence versus, like, averageness, like, and not being able to have a space for that. So it's so understandable that we would have just that one shared view.
Yeah, because there's many aspects of our identity that instills a sense of needing to prove ourselves.
Yeah.
But go on. No, finish. No more. No more. I was going to say this, and this is more of a disclaimer because I've said this in the past, and you know what? This one day I know will be used as a soundbite.
Oh my God.
In response to things. I'm 21 years old. Tammie is now 21 years old. Mara is a baby 20. Okay. Everything we say is not fixed. We will change our minds in the future about various different things. Some things will stay the same. Listen to episode 1. But so everything we say, I want you to remember. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The internet, the digital world. Because, it is malleable, and if we say something now, we may not believe it.
Because if you look at stuff from season 1, I'm like, what were we talking about?
And I want to add though that whilst we have shared experiences or shared perspectives, we sitting here are not a monolith.
No,
we're not even a monolith within our own selves.
Yeah,
we will continue to change, to grow and develop, as I hope everyone does. And like, listen, we love to revisit things and talk about things, so I'm sure this will crop up at some point.
Probably.
And we might in 2 months' time change or add to our perspectives or change or whatever. But
I do have. Sorry.
Oh no, continue.
One question.
Shoot.
Do you feel like
we're wasting our potential?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Same.
Shit. Oh, great.
It's
sake.
No, it's a thing that, and I usually double back on my opinions back and forth. That is something that I'm very, very grounded and assured in. Strange to say assured in. I know when I feel like I'm wasting my potential.
Yeah.
And I know when things feel stalled, in a sense. Factors in life happen where it's like you can't actualize your potential in that very moment. I know, as being a student, no hate to the things I'm doing because this is part of my journey, and it's one that I signed myself up to when I was 8 years old. I had it in my mind already what I was going to do. Listen, my thing is though, I know that as I grow in an interest in something, I can't actualize the potential of that right there, right now, because I have other things going on. I have life. That's another thing. Sometimes you cannot actualize certain potential because you got stuff going on in life.
Yeah, you got work.
Life is laughing, bro. So I just want to say I do feel like I personally feel like I'm wasting my potential. And then I think also with the podcast, like, and us, like, in terms of how NTM is growing, we have potential. I don't want to say the word wasting. I just think that we're not at a point yet where we can actualize certain things. But that's not to say that it has to have such a negative connotation. Sometimes things just are. They're not supposed to be overtly positive or negative. And that's another little soundbite for you.
Well, I'll be damned.
I love how we all just said yes, just so
Yeah? Because we don't lie to each other. We don't. One thing is, like, personally, we're very honest with each other. Business-wise, we're very honest with each other.
Maybe to a fault.
Sometimes we actually make ourselves really sad. Wait, hold on.
Someone call HR.
We don't have HR. Fuck's sake.
You've been calling
potential.
HR for like 4 seasons now, damn.
What is she called? Sandra?
Yeah,
HR rep.
Sandra.
That's our HR rep.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to talk about Fatima?
Oh. No, no. cut the.
Okay, people, I've been Nelle.
I've been Tammie.
And I've been Mara.
And this has been the Not Too Much podcast. If you didn't know before, you know now.
Ooh.
Oh, go. Damn. Po potential. Po potential. Po potential. Po potential. 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 Do you have the potential? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have the do you have it? Do you have it? Are you wasting it? Are you wasting it? Potential. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe not. Maybe yes. But you can always write in to the NTM podcast if you want us to find out.
Boom.